Alrighty, everybody. Happy Monday. Today's December 16th. I hope everyone had a phenomenal weekend. My name is Hunter, if you don't know me. This is my podcast, and we focus everything on becoming your best self. It's called Best Self Weekly. It's, focusing on being your best self every single day. Today, tomorrow, every single day. And what we focus on are self-improvement principles. We talk about mindset, we talk about health, entrepreneurship, self-help books, spirituality, and sometimes faith. So that's kind of the gist of everything. I often do solo episodes as well as invite guests to come on the show. But today I'm going to start the week off doing this episode alone. And I'm very excited to share with everyone um, a topic that is just so important. It's very important. So thank you for tuning in. I'm just going to get right into it today. Um, okay, so once again, I hope everyone had a good weekend. This weekend, I was pondering a little bit about a self-improvement principle, and it's living your life by design versus default, and how we obviously should be living our life by design. And I'm excited to dive deep into this today. We will be going over some examples and common examples that, we younger people face in today's world. And then we're going to talk about how most people struggle with this and, things that you can do in your personal life to overcome these things. So, starting off, with this topic, living your life by design versus default. I wanted to first talk about the definition of default and what that means. So, getting right into it, default means that you are not performing, that you're lacking something. It means it really means failure to perform or make good. So if you're living your life by default, you are failing. You are not fulfilling your potential. There's something holding you back. Um, but the thing is that we have the power to design our lives to make it as good as possible. And, when you're living your life by default, that means that either your past or just something in general is holding you back from becoming the best version of yourself. Maybe it's a past pain, maybe it's a mental illness, a physical illness, maybe you were beat, maybe you were verbally abused in a bad relationship, or whatever it may be. There's just something that is limiting you to becoming that best version of yourself. So this often leads to either feeling stuck or unfulfilled in our lives and limited as well. But on the other hand, when you are living your life by design, you're being very intentional about the person you want to be and the person you want to become. And we're also going to go over a few steps on that and truly how to design your life so that you can become the best version of yourself every single day. So that's kind of the definition of default. It's failure to perform. It's, not doing good, simply not living your life in a good way. And believe it or not, as most of you probably know, most people struggle with living their life by default. Now, I wanted to dive in to some possible reasons, and I came up with 10 why most people live in default. So, the number one thing I would say is probably lack of awareness. And I just feel like not a lot of people were taught the importance of being aware and how to set clear goals. Um, because honestly, in the school system, this isn't really a common thing. We're not taught how to set personal goals. Luckily, I've been very blessed to have some coaches in my life that have taught me the importance of setting clear goals. I remember one of my basketball coaches introduced me to SMART goals at one point. But other than that, like the school systems, they do not ever teach you how to live intentional. They don't teach you how to set clear goals for your personal life. So that's one reason is lack of awareness. Number two, I would say is comfort zones. I feel like almost everyone out there is addicted to comfort and scrolling on our phones. Number one thing is probably the most comforting thing that, you can do. And it wastes so much time. It's so much bad energy. Um, and yeah, so just the comfort zones. I mean, when you want to fulfill your potential, You are going to have to face situations that are going to be difficult, but that's how you grow. And that's something that's required. But either way in our lives, we're going to be facing difficulties. So why not just decide to become the best version of yourself and design your life, right? Because either way, there's going to be difficulties. And I just feel like there's a huge lack of clarity that we all have on our goals. We don't know the details. We don't know our whys. We don't sit with ourselves. And I really feel like this is one of the most important reasons why most people live in a state of default. And I feel like that's the lack of role models. There's a huge lack of role models out there, and we need people to look up to. Everyone needs a mentor. And unfortunately, you know, there's a lack of mentors. But at the same time, on social media, we're very blessed to be living in times with technology. For example, we can watch David Goggins, we can watch Jocko, Andy Frisella, on and on and on about wonderful mentors if you want to learn more about becoming the best version of yourself. But really, there's a huge lack of role models, and that's one of the reasons why most people live their life in default. So that's a great motive to start now and to really become the best version of yourself and just set the standard for, how people should live their lives. Um, Another thing is fear of change. That's kind of related though to the addicted to comfort thing. Change can be hard. We get so comfortable. Um, yeah. Also, another reason why I feel like we live in default is lack of community, lack of a like-minded community. That makes a huge difference. We become like the five people that we surround ourselves with most. There's a quote about it. And I feel like if we could all have a like-minded community, that would help us design our life and truly become intentional about being the best versions of ourselves. And if you're looking to join a like-minded community, just saying, I got one going right now, got a few spots available. Anyways, so that's a little bit about, why most people live in the state of, default. So now moving on. How to avoid living like that, how to avoid living in failure and default, whatever you want to call it. So one step I wanted to go over with everyone today is asking yourself inspired questions regularly. For example, am I happy with where I'm going? What's holding me back from making a change? What does my ideal life look like? Simple but courageous, powerful questions that we can regularly ask ourselves on a daily basis, a weekly basis, is truly going to help us build self-awareness. So in order to design our life, we need to build self-awareness so that we become very intentional about who we want to be, what that best version of ourselves looks like, how you can act, how like them, how you can dress like them, how you can speak like them. And believe me, there's levels to it and there's always room for improvement, but it's always good to ask yourself those simple questions. And then the second thing I would also say is set clear goals. Define exactly what success means to you and be very clear about the goals you want to set, and what area of life that falls under and what key areas of life are very important to you at this very moment because we're always changing, as humans, stuff happens. And then the third thing, once again, I would say is surrounding yourself with like-minded people is how you truly can design your life and live your life in the best way possible. And those were a few things I really wanted to go over with everybody today. Um, just kind of recapping here. Basically, when you live your life by design, you are in the driver's seat. You are in full control. You're sending it. You're going after what you want. But when you're living in default, you're kind of like the passenger who's just going through the motions, who's, along for the ride. And yeah, when you live your life by design, you're confronting your fears, you're confronting your challenges, and every single choice that you make aligns with your purpose, aligns with your values, and aligns with your standards. And I just feel like you're proactively setting goals and trying to achieve them when you're living life by design. But I just want to tell everybody that we have the power. Our minds are so powerful. We're so very blessed, and we can truly live our lives by design and figure out exactly what we want and why we want it. We're very blessed. We have agency. We live in a country where we have freedom, and we truly can design and go after whatever the heck we want to. Um, yeah, so that's kind of what I wanted to share with everybody. And obviously, the definition of design is, I wrote it down here. It's a plan or drawing produced to show the look and function of something. So the call to action for today is to literally draw out on pen and paper what the best version of you looks like and what that life looks like. And when you're able to write it down, that's how you're going to make the plans and design it. So design your dream life. Write down all areas of life that are important to you: mental health, physical fitness, financially, relationships, family, whatever it is. There's a lot of them. But write those down and write exactly what you want, exactly how the best version of yourself would design and how they should be and how you should be living your life and make those goals. It really comes down to being very intentional, and just dissect your life. Dissect it. Think of, how should I dress? How should I talk? What should I be doing every day? What are weekly habits? What are daily habits? Do I really need to be doing this every week? Or can I do it every month? Or can I do it every day? How can I use my time to my advantage? So I just want to let you guys know that we're so blessed to be living in a free country where we can truly design our true lives. And I just know that really anything is possible. And that's the invitation for you to get your journals out, get a Google Doc out, and design your life. Every area, write down, pick words that you want to live by, and do that. And get in the habit of reviewing that and doing that every single day. And you'll notice a change in you. But that's the message I want to share with everybody today. I appreciate you tuning in on this Monday. I hope everybody has a phenomenal week and that you can be the best version of yourself today, tomorrow, and really every single day. And, if you need mentorship, if you need accountability, if you need to be part of a like-minded community, send me a message. My Instagram is the same name as this. It's at Hunter Shanath. My email is huntershanath@gmail.com. Email me. I'd love to get you signed up, become part of a free like-minded community, or there's also a private community as well. Whatever questions you have about any self-improvement principle, I'm happy to reach out to you. And I hope everybody has a blessed day, and I appreciate you giving this a listen.